Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Real Bros podcast. I'm your host, Logan Thomas, and with me, as always,
Caden Green.
And together we are
The Real Bros.
And today we are covering the Magnificent Seven from 2016. It is the remake of the 1960 film, which is also a remake of a 1950s Japanese samurai film. So this is like a triple remake kind of situation.
Double remake.
Double remake.
It's a remake of the original.
You're so smart.
I know.
So are we ready to just get rolling?
Anything you want to add real quick?
Just that for anybody who doesn't like seek out westerns very much, this is like a good on point for a western. Because this was your first time seeing this movie.
Yes, and I would recommend it. It is a very good movie. And I was very impressed with the production of it. As I learned, just for a little snippet, everything was made in real life.
Yeah, there is no CGI in this movie.
It is all practical, and I find that very enjoyable.
Yeah, but for like westerns like this, you almost have to for the believability of it. But like, I couldn't imagine somebody trying to make an entirely CGI western and it not being a horrendous, offensive movie to the entire genre of westerns.
Right.
Where like the entire genre is built on making you believe that it was the truth.
Yeah.
So yeah. But yeah, this is one of my top 10. I saw this movie when it first came out when I was in high school. I immediately fell in love with it, and it made me want to search out the original, which I actually watched again over Christmas for the first time in a couple of years. And I always found myself more liking the new one because of the characters. But as I was watching the original, I realized that they're both equally fantastic, each for their own way.
I guess you could say they're both magnificent.
All right. Bravo for that one. You got me with that one. I don't think I have anything else to add on that note.
Okay.
Anything you want to say before we get started?
It's a very good movie. If you haven't seen it, I would definitely give it a watch.
All right. Are we ready to get your quick review?
Absolutely. So, The Magnificent Seven is a PG-13 movie that came out in 2016, and it follows Sam Chisholm, who is kind of a sharpshooter / bounty hunter almost.
He's a bounty hunter, but he's a bounty hunter, but there's a lot more to it. But we'll get into that in the spoiler review.
So Sam Chisholm is kind of a bounty hunter sharpshooter, and he's been recruited or paid by an individual to go after Bartholomew Bogue, who is the main antagonist, and he's kind of this corrupt businessman who wants to take over the town of Rose Creek and turn it almost into another mining facility under his control.
He's almost turning it into like a mining plantation kind of situation.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty straightforward. It's a very straightforward movie. I don't think all this movie is really just action and character development. There's not really much layers or themes in this movie. Because like I said, this is a very good like on-ramp for westerns for a lot of people who haven't seen westerns before. If you have nothing else to add, we ready to get into production tales?
Absolutely.
All right. So first I'm going to do the cast for this because first off, this cast was amazing.
Yeah.
Like the chemistry and just the acting in this movie is top notch alone. And So Denzel Washington plays Sam Chisholm. Um, he played Chris Pratt plays Joshua Faraday. Ethan Hawke plays Goodnight Robichaud. Vincent D'Onofrio plays Jack Horn. Uh, Young Hun Lee plays Billy Rocks. The only thing I've ever seen him in other than this is Squid Games. He's one of the main characters
Oh.
in Squid Games. He plays the front man, I believe his name is.
Mm.
Manuel Garcia Rolfo plays Vasquez, and Martin Sensmeyer plays Red Harvest. Um, Peter Skarsgård plays Bartholomew Bogue. Haley Bennett plays Emma Cullen, who is the main female protagonist because she is the person who hires Sam Chisholm.
Yeah.
And Luke Grimes from Yellowstone plays Teddy Q, who is kind of like Emma's sidekick. So, yeah, pretty star-studded cast, I must say.
The only two that I've really heard of is Denzel Washington and obviously Chris Pratt.
Yeah, I mean, they really use those two for the marketing of this movie because this 2016, we're coming a year off of Jurassic World,
Yeah.
and Guardians of the Galaxy was already a massive hit at this point. Um, yeah, this was the late 20 teens was like Chris Pratt's height of popularity. Um, People think he's kind of fallen from that. I still think he's a good actor. I like most of the stuff he's in.
I mean, he's good, don't get me wrong, but constantly having him do different voices for animated characters like Garfield and Mario, it can kind of get repetitive.
It can, especially when they really don't have him kind of like use the full capacity of his voice.
Yeah.
All they pretty much just want is like, hey, give me Chris Pratt. Like, I think him being Garfield is a good choice, but you have to kind of mold your voice into Garfield, not
Yeah.
just being like, hey, I'm Chris Pratt, let's play Garfield.
Yeah.
But like everything else he's in, like he did fantastic as Mario, I thought.
Like, yeah, he does good, but it's the concept of just reusing him.
Yeah, yeah, I get that. Um, and Denzel Washington, my only like real other knowledge of him is Remember the Titans,
Yeah.
because I still haven't seen Gladiator 2, so I don't know how good he is in that. But like, I know he's a great actor, but I just haven't like sought out his movies
Right.
as much as a lot of these other actors. All right.
Any production mishaps?
It seems like there was a few different versions of this
Mm,
that was going to be made. So the original plan was this to come out in 2012,
okay.
and it was going to star Tom Cruise, Kevin Costner, Morgan Freeman, and Matt Damon.
I can't see that working out.
The reason I think this version works is because it shows the, I want to use this term loosely, the melting pot that was the Old West, because you had all of these different cultures and all these different peoples coming together and just colliding
Yeah.
in Western America because of the gold rush, just the not wanting to be tied down by laws or anything like that. And so just everybody was there. And so just by having a bunch of well-known white actors, which happened in the old Western movies from the 60s and stuff, but that was because Hollywood was what it was at the time. But like now, these westerns we're getting are so much more realistic, and they're darker because it was a dark point in history.
Oh, absolutely.
People like to romanticize it and stuff, but like bad stuff happened back then.
Oh yeah,
And like
like like when you think about it, the first thing that comes to mind for me is like train robbings.
train robbing,
Those don't often just end with robbing.
no, mass murders, just unbelievable things. And so like for them to try to make a movie like that and romanticize it, like I do love old westerns, don't get me wrong. But like I just love the ideal of these modern westerns showing you the truth
Right.
because we have so much more knowledge of the history and everything from back then. And that just makes it more of a believable. It makes for more intense action and just better storytelling.
Yeah.
Because believe it or not, people like dark stuff. It's the human need for the macabre.
Right.
And so, yeah, it's my own personal thoughts on the matter. if it doesn't seem apparent, I love westerns. I was just raised on them. That's all.
They are good, all things considered.
At one point, Jason Momoa is supposed to be in this movie.
I can't see that.
I can kind of see him as like maybe a different version of what Jack Horn might have been.
Yeah, but the only thing I've seen him in is realistically the Zack Snyder's Justice League and the Aquaman movies.
Yes.
And those like come off as serious movies, but they always have a subtle joke to them.
They're very light-hearted to his specific character.
Yes. And to put him in a situation where a character such as what was his name? Jack Harner?
Jack Horn.
Jack
I'm just
Horn?
assuming that's who he was supposed to be cast as.
Right.
It didn't say, but like I don't think they could like cast him as the Native American character.
No. But I can't see him being a very serious character in that without several jokes here and there.
I can. He's in a Netflix series called The Frontier where he plays uh I forget the real word and please forgive me for this, but he's a peltsman. So like he's big in pelt trading, hunting, everything, and it's actually a really gritty, truthful show about America in the pre-Independence Day, pre-Revolutionary War. And it's actually a really good show. So like he can do serious roles, but he's just mostly known for his comedy because that's just who his personality is. He can do it, but it's very few and far between, which is sad.
Yeah.
Principal photography of this only lasted 92 days.
Not bad.
May 18th to August 18th, 2015. And they mostly filmed in Louisiana, Colorado, and New Mexico.
Which you really can't tell that it's all separate places.
Yeah.
They blend it together so well.
They really do. And just for a point of reference, the main town that's in this movie, they built that town from scratch.
Yeah.
For this movie. Which I love it when they do that. Because you can also tell it's kind of like that stereotypical Old West town. Where it's just like the main drag and there's just like the church at the end and like there's only one road, there's like one path in or out. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
But you know what?
They nailed it. And it's because that they physically built it all
Mm-hmm.
to get it looking to such a good and solid way.
Yeah, and I don't know if this is true or not. It, it'd be kind of cool if for like some of the sequences they actually use live rounds for like shooting up the buildings and stuff. Because I know they have specific safety precautions. Sadly, that didn't happen on Rust. But sorry, Alec Baldwin. Um, do you not? Do you have you heard about that?
Yes, I've heard about it.
Okay, because like if you're not on the inside joke, I have to explain this inside joke. um,
I can see there being live rounds simply because of how many times a bullet is shot through a wall.
right, and especially things they're using live explosives
Yeah.
for this movie. So what's wrong with like maybe just like a blank shot of just somebody shooting up a wall? Because like the scene with the and this is kind of a mild spoiler alert. The scene with the Gatling gun. If they didn't use live rounds for that, they planned their little pops and stuff for like the props and everything so well
Oh, yeah.
in that sequence. Like, yeah,
And see, what they could have done is there are like a lot of far away shots where you're looking at the building.
yeah,
What they could have done easily is just, for the majority of it, have actual rounds with the actors outside of the building.
right,
And then when it comes into a shot of going into the building, just move the actors in and then fill in certain little holes.
right. And you're like, it's all about editing and everything, I guess. But
Yeah.
to my eye and like my want to believe is like they try to go as real as possible. But it seems like production went smoothly after just the couple different variations of the script and everything and the different casting choices. Um, so the budget for this movie was 90 million,
Okay.
which is extremely low for what we saw.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they handled their money very well.
Oh, yeah.
The domestic box office made 93 million.
Okay. So they've made back what they put into it and then some.
International 68.9 million,
Okay.
and overall it made 162 million.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't this the so far the movie with the like lowest income so far?
Um, yes,
Okay.
only because my thoughts were because it wasn't advertised as much. And also because this was like the first like really real like western that had come out in a while. And like even when I was young and I'd seen the advertisement on YouTube, I was like, they still make westerns. So I was like, oh, okay, I'm in. But um,
I have a very large suspicion that most of that 90 million budget went to most of the actors.
either that or the town,
Yeah.
because their biggest thing was building that town.
Yeah.
Um,
It was like a town, a couple small settlements,
right.
and did they build the Vogue Manor as well?
I don't know about that, but all I know for sure is that the base town that most of the movie is in, they just built that from scratch.
Mm.
Opening weekend it made 34 million, and here's the thing: it only released in 3,674 theaters.
Mm.
I'm pretty sure that's why it didn't do so well.
Yeah.
Because, like, if I remember right, because I wanted to see this in theaters, and Van Wert cinemas didn't have it. Because, like, they only sell the cinemas that they know they're going to make profit off of.
Right.
So, like, a lot of movies don't make it out here. Like, we have to go to, like, Lima or something to see a lot of these bigger movies.
Right.
Or, like, just, like, smaller movies aren't like, hey, this one's probably going to make $1 billion.
post it everywhere.
Yeah. Uh,
Or, like some kind of Marvel movie, you're going to see it everywhere. But if it's like some kind of low budget movie, it's like, let's select our target audience very specifically.
yeah. And I just read a thing from critic responses. Critics said this film lacked originality and innovation. Excuse me?
No, those are critics.
They are.
It's their job to criticize things, even if they don't do it right.
Yeah. We're reviewers, we're not critics. That's the thing. We're optimistic. They're not.
Yeah. But, on one hand, I can see where they're coming from with it being a remake of a remake.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's still quite a bit that goes on that you just got to give credit to at the end of it all.
Absolutely. Like, yeah.
But, all right. Anything else for production?
I don't think so.
Okay.
So, are we ready to get into our spoiler review?
I do believe so.
All right. This is the spoiler warning. So, if you have not seen this movie, please stop what you're doing, pause this episode, go see it, and join us when you're done. Only warning.
All right. Now, into spoiler territory.
All right, so the film begins with an explosion at the bog mining operation in Rose Creek. Is it Texas?
I don't think it says.
It doesn't? Okay.
I from what I can believe, from what I can remember, I believe it's just Rose Creek.
Gotcha.
Because you also got to remember, the setup itself takes place in 3 different states.
That's fair. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we'll just call it Rose Creek County.
That's fine. And this explosion is pretty much a result of because he's looking for gold and oil, isn't he?
I think it's mostly oil.
Yeah. But anyways, this guy's pretty much got this entire town working for him, and he wants to like buy the entire area of Rose Creek and pretty much just make his own personal mining operation.
Yeah.
And the townspeople are pretty much like,
no, you can't do that. This is our town. We live here. Our town.
yeah. And so he sets the town church on fire and kills Emma Cullen's husband, who is the lead female character who hires the 7 to pretty much free the town. And this pretty much takes us, I would probably say, like, a month later?
I would say,
because we find ourselves in, I didn't write it down, but we're in a different town where we meet a black warrant officer of the name of Sam Chisholm.
yeah, I don't think the name of that town was ever specified.
It might have been, but like the other towns really aren't really important.
No,
They're just like little stopping points.
Yeah, the only one that really matters is just Rose Creek.
Yeah. Anyways, this guy, Sam Chisholm, is on a bounty hunt for a man named Dirty Dan, I believe his name is.
No, I think that's a SpongeBob character.
Why did you have to go there? Anyways, I know for sure the guy's name is Dan. I don't know if it's Dirty Dan or what. But he gets his mark, and in the saloon where he gets his mark is a gambler by the name of Joshua Faraday.
Yeah, oh yeah. And Faraday, personally, is like my favorite character.
He's very much the smooth talking,
sleight of hand.
Yes. And Chris Pratt plays him so well. He plays this kind of like sarcastic, yet charismatic guy. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
I don't really know how else to describe it.
He's just very good with his words.
Very good with his words.
But that doesn't mean things are going to go his way all the time.
No, 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 no. Not at all. In this movie does it go his way all the time.
If ever.
Yeah, once or twice. Once or twice. Anyways, Sam Chisholm is approached by Emma and Teddy Q, to free the town of Bart Bogue's hand, as it
Yeah.
were.
And kind of during this conversation, we see Faraday get, I want to say, kidnapped by Dan and his brother.
He's
No,
Wild Bill,
Wild Bill and
his brother.
what is it? Two Eye Pete or something like that. One Ear Pete, I think.
It's some stupid name.
Essentially, it's just Wild Bill and his brother.
Yes.
And they are both pretty much taking Faraday hostage for a bad gambling rap that he did.
Yeah. And so
It doesn't go their way.
he offers them a card trick.
Very good card trick.
Oh, his name is Earl. It's
Earl?
Bill and Earl.
It's what?
Earl. I just remembered because he's like, Earl, you know how much I love magic. So Faraday does the card trick for him, and he's like, you want to see the magic disappearing ear? He just pulls a little snub nose out and just kills Earl, and then he just shoots Wild Bill's ear off. He's like, I didn't want to kill your brother, but he touched my gun.
And I don't know. Do you know what kind of gun he had personally?
Like his regular wielding.
Yeah, not the snub nose.
He's got a Peacemaker and some other form of Colt. But I know he really cherishes them because he calls them his wives.
Yeah. And he named them too, right?
He did. I can't remember exactly what the names were because that was like a throwaway thing. But
yeah,
he does respect his weapons.
Oh yeah,
for sure. But anyways, he's trying to get out of town. He tries to buy his horse back. That doesn't go his way either.
Little Irish man.
Very, very little Irish man.
Leprechaun.
I mean, it's pretty close. Anyways, Sam Chisholm buys his horse. Pretty much says, I own you, you work for me. If you want to have your horse back, you got to do this thing for me. And he was like, what's the odds? And Sam Chisholm pretty much says, it's impossible.
And that just kind of piques Faraday's attention. He's like, oh.
How many men you got? Says 2. He's like, them people you're riding with there? He's like, nope, just you and me. Like, okay. Anyways, they ride off, and the group splits up into 2 teams. We got Faraday and Teddy,
yes.
and Sam and Emma.
Yes. And
I forget which order it follows them first. I think it follows Faraday and
Teddy first, but yeah. I think realistically they kind of like go off and meet the people at the same time.
Yeah.
But we are introduced to the Goodnight Robichaud.
Billy Rocks. And Vasquez.
I think Vasquez comes in just a little bit later, though.
Vasquez is who...
oh, no. Vasquez is who
Sam
and Emma go after.
Yes.
So, Goodnight Robichaud, his whole thing...
He was a Confederate sniper.
Yes. A very good one. But he has severe PTSD and cannot hold a gun.
No.
And that is where...
Billy Rocks.
Yes. Comes in.
He pretty much is his drug dealer. Because he gives... The stuff he smokes, it's not weed and it's not tobacco. It's some Oriental thing. It kind of helps him keep on the edge
Mm,
because normally Goodnight functions normally, but like when his severe PTSD kicks in, if you watch the film, you'll notice that's when he smokes a lot more,
right.
which is really interesting because if you really like look at history, the Civil War has some of the worst PTSD in history because like you're trying to kill your neighbors and
Right.
stuff. Like it was a very very bad war, and the whole I in one of the special features for the movie, it said that these are all Civil War weary men, and the only ones who really talk about the war are Sam and Goodnight.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense, but like, it's hard to ignore the fact that all these men probably
Served.
served at some point or another. Um.
But
Anyways,
um, Billy Rocks is another good sharpshooter. But his whole thing,
is knives.
yeah, he's more of a assassin ninja.
I would yes, I would say he's more of a assassin, but he's just a very good knife handler.
Yeah, he's trained well enough with a gun now.
Yes, in some of his action sequences, they really seamlessly have him switch between gun and knives.
Yeah.
It's just really fun to watch, especially when he's a martial artist, I believe. Um. Anyways, they meet Goodnight, Robichaud, and Billy Rocks at a shooting gallery. It's pretty much like a little cattle rustling town where men compete and like shoot off and stuff.
And in this specific shoot off, it's kind of to see who can shoot a glass bottle first.
Yeah, it's pretty much like a quick draw, but you're not aiming at a person.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, "No way, I won!" And obviously, Billy won. And he's like, "How about we do it for real?" Which, why would you do that? I mean, you're putting your life on the line just to prove you're right.
Right.
Like, come on, that's stupid. Anyways, surprise, he loses.
Yeah. And Billy Rocks doesn't shoot him, right? He throws.
A hairpin,
Yeah.
and Goodnight collects the reward.
Because
And
people were betting on it.
yes, this is this kind of like a gambling ring too. Um, and Faraday announces himself to Goodnight and says, "I'm friends of Sam Chisholm," and they automatically agree because Sam and Goodnight were good friends during and after the war. Um, they never really said how they met.
Right.
I think it was just like because Sam was a blue, and obviously Goody was a gray. But I think one of them saved the other from something. I think is mentioned like very very briefly.
I can't remember. If it is, it was a massive throwaway moment.
Yeah. Either way, so those two are in, and then we cut. It's kind of like a little cut between these two events, but um, uh, we go back to Sam and Emma, and they come across a hunting cabin where there's a corpse and some. I want to say like still warm beans, like a
Yeah.
meal,
Yeah.
and in the door comes a lassoer, and his name is Vasquez, and he's kind of like your
Crook.
typical crook. He almost acts like a rodeo goer, kind of, because of his skills and stuff. Because he's very much flary with the gun twirling and everything.
Right.
But Sam's like, there's a bounty on your head. If you want to help me with this, I'll let you go, and I won't be one chasing you afterwards.
Yeah.
And he pretty much is like, I don't really have much of a choice, do I? Not really.
Nope. At that point, the bounty hunter's already there.
Yeah.
He's giving you an opportunity to get away from him. You might as well take it.
Like, for real, and Sam's pretty good.
Yeah.
And so they all meet up together at their campsite, in which case Faraday pretty much becomes a complete racist to Vasquez.
Yeah. But, well, spoiler alert, this kind of becomes more like a sibling rivalry the more you think about it.
Absolutely.
Like, as the movie progresses, you start seeing them like, oh, I hate your guts. No, I hate your guts. And then in reality, like, they're willing to take a bullet for one or the other.
They even like come up with like nicknames for each other. Vasquez calls Faraday a güero, which just means a redhead Catholic. from what the movie says, which is like, man, they got a word for everything, don't they? Anywho,
it's a funny little.
it's a running gag. It's very much a running gag because I mean, like when you approach a Mexican and say, "Oh, hippie hippie yandele,"
In that accent too.
yeah, I mean, you're not going to get much else from that.
No.
But anyways, they travel together, and they're trying to find a scalp hunter, which is that's pretty much a person who was hired to collect Indian scalps during and after the war for money, kind of like a rewardist in a way.
Right.
But looking for Jack Horn.
And the best way I can think about it. Sorry for interrupting.
You're all right.
Jack Horn is kind of like this massive mountain man.
Yes.
And he's a very religious mountain man.
And I was watching one of the bonus features for this, and Vincent D'Onofrio was like, he put months into coming up with the voice, because he's like, this guy lives alone. Nobody really tells him how he sounds, so he pretty much just like talks however he wants, and his voice just goes into a range that's completely, I don't want to say unnatural,
unexpected,
very unexpected. And
sorry, go ahead.
And as you watch the movie, his voice becomes normal.
Yeah, like when he's first introduced, his voice is very high pitched and squeaky.
Yes,
which is very interesting to see from such a big, burly man.
Right.
And then, later on in the story, he's like down here.
Yeah. That's one of the best parts about that movie is just like the tiny details they put into their characters.
Oh, yeah. They showed a lot of thought and effort into the whole thing.
Absolutely. And anyways, so they find his cabin and they meet the Crow brothers, who are like, yeah, we killed Jack Horn. We broke a boulder over his head. And it's like, we're going to be famous because we got Jack Horn. Out of nowhere, a tomahawk just impales
one of the brothers.
And then you just see this gigantic man in a fur vest,
screaming, running as fast as he can,
with blood like pouring down his face, and they're like, oh my god, he's alive.
And
the other brother just like starts just running backwards and trips over himself, and Jack Horn just skull stomps this guy to death.
I thought he used a pickaxe for him.
Mm-mm.
No?
Nope, it's his feet.
And I think the interaction after this is so funny because Jack Horn, like, I might be wrong, but he looks at the group and he's like, they hit me over the head with a boulder.
He's like, I have a right to collect my possessions that was taken from me. Do we understand each other? They're like,
Yeah.
Yeah. And they offer him the position, and he initially declines because he doesn't really want action anymore. And I think part of my mind of understanding the character is like, I feel like he moved
Past the scalp hunting.
that, and I feel like he became a mountain man to kind of become at peace with himself.
Yeah.
Because
For the
when you're
solidarity
yeah,
and peace of mind.
because when you're a scalp hunter, that pretty much means you're just
Constantly going after people.
yeah,
Like constant adrenaline.
yeah, and sometimes you gotta do really nasty things, and
Yeah.
and history is not very appealing
No.
when you read about people who were hired to like hunt Indians and stuff. It was not pretty at all.
Right.
Anywho, they move on and they're now in Indian territory because they're cutting across this valley to get to Rose Creek, and they have a nice little campfire scene where they get. You can really see their bonds are starting to grow.
Most of the bonds are there, but the one I want to point out that would never work is Faraday and Teddy.
Yeah, it's pretty much like a him asserting his dominance kind of situation.
Because Teddy has his own gun, right?
But he doesn't know how to use
Yeah, and so Faraday, in a very egotistical and sarcastic way, says, if you give me the rest of that alcohol, I'll teach you how to shoot a gun
it,
in
which
three.
is a direct reference to the Kenny Rogers "The Gambler" song, which I always found was so hilarious.
And so instead of teaching him how to shoot a gun, he does card tricks.
Which, if you honestly think about it, it's actually kind of smart.
All the safety while still learning.
Yes.
Because his whole thing is about how fast you can react.
And how fast things can change.
Yeah. Because after like the third attempt of Teddy trying to grab a card from Faraday,
Yes.
he pulls a gun on Teddy as fast as Teddy was grabbing the card.
And the whole lesson was that it was never about the cards. I mean, in hindsight, it's a very good lesson.
It's true.
It is very true. Especially when you're dealing with the situation that you're going to be in, you know? Gotta learn to read your area.
Yeah.
Anyways, they wake up and Jack Horn was tracking them. And I guess there is a young Comanche.
I can't remember what the.
I think it's Comanche. I'm sorry if it's not, but that's what I vaguely remember. Anyways, he offers Sam a deer heart, and I guess this specific Native American, his name is Red Harvest, and he's like, my path journeyed me away from my tribe. I'm a lone man seeking purpose. And he's like, and Sam is pretty much like, our purpose is we go fight evil man. We probably all die. And they're like, all right, I'm in. And they share raw deer steak, pretty much.
What was it? The heart that they were.
I'm pretty sure that was what it was trying to imply.
It was either the heart or a liver.
It was probably liver.
Because it looked very smooth and not
It looked very livery.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure it's trying to be like symbolic of a heart. But they didn't want to do that. But whatever, man. Message received. Anyways, they all ride together and they arrive at Rose Creek, where so the sheriff of Rose Creek is pretty much under the thumb of
But
Bo.
the sheriff and all of his deputies.
And those deputies are Blackstone agents. They're pretty much like security for hire,
Yeah.
essentially. And the guys arrive in town. They have a huge shootout, which is a very good action sequence.
And it's kind of in this scene where you really get to see Goodnight Robichaud.
Yes.
You get to see how his PTSD affects him.
Yes, because he had a clear shot.
He had several clear shots.
And Faraday's like, take the shot. Take the shot. Why won't you take the shot?
But
And
his hands are trembling. You can see him visibly sweating and shaking.
And Billy's like, it's jammed. And we're like, no.
Which, as believable as that could be, with context, you understand Billy's just keeping an eye out for Robichaud.
Yeah, because he saved him.
Yeah.
So they're very much in that tight bond sort of situation.
I don't think we mentioned like their actual past. Like, I know we said that Billy's kind of a drug dealer, but did we mention their past?
They met because Billy was living pretty much like on the railroad, and Goody was hired to kill him.
All right.
And and Goodnight saw Billy pretty much just like dispatch of like 5 guys in a matter of seconds. He was like, "You don't try to kill this guy, you befriend this guy," which is a very smart thing to do.
And it works both ways. Goodnight gets solid protection,
Yeah.
and Billy gets. How do I want to word this? He gets.
He words it as Goodnight helps him navigate the white man's prejudices.
Yes. Because what is his ethnicity?
He is Asian.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Like I said, the Old West was a melting pot.
Yeah.
Everybody was there. Everybody. Anyways, they pretty much send the sheriff with a message. My name is Sam Chisholm. If you want your town, come get it from me. And they come up with the math that they have 1 week.
Yep.
Before Bogue returns.
Because it'll take the sheriff 3 days to get there.
One day
to get the army around, and then 3 days to get back.
Yep. And so these townspeople are just farmers. They're not fighters. And so they have their difficulties training them.
Oh, yes.
Half of these men can't even shoot hay sacks.
No.
At 50 yards. Like, it is pretty sad. This is some of Goodnight's best acting.
Oh, yeah.
In this scene, because, like, he gives, like, a speech. It's just like...
It really gets you going, but when all the farmers try and shoot, they all miss. And I think Faraday does something to anger him.
He eggs him on.
He what? Oh, eggs, yeah.
He's like, this guy is dubbed the Angel of Death. And so
on and so forth. And so just kind of in a fit of rage, Goodnight grabs one of the rifles and just pow, 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 shot after shot into a hay stack.
And it cuts one of the hay bodies' heads clean off.
And like that, this is the first time we actually see him shoot, and it shows you just how well he does.
Right. And then one of the farmers is like, how do I do that? Obviously, it's not sucked like you have been.
Yeah.
There's a couple training montages.
Yeah.
They're kind of throwaways. like this like little section of the movie is pretty much just
And the one that sticks out is obviously Good Night's training session, but I think also Chisholm and Faraday try and teach like how to shoot revolvers and whatnot.
yeah. The guys go to the mine, they free all the miners, and they steal all the dynamite.
Kind of come in handy.
Yeah, and so they pretty much invent trench warfare here. They literally like dig about 3 miles of trenches outside the city limits, and they pretty much like line it all with dynamite, and they make like little hiding pockets and stuff.
Yeah.
And they're pretty much on their, I want to say it's like their last night beforehand, and Red Harvest finally speaks English. Like it's really like in this little, I want to say like 20 minutes, like nothing really story happens. It's just one gigantic montage of events.
Yeah.
They're just taking up the week.
Like teaching farmers how to shoot, getting equipment ready, digging trenches, all that stuff kind of comes together. And then, they're on their last night, and all of the seven of them, including Emma and Teddy, right?
Yes.
They're all sitting at a bar or saloon, just Chisholm's like, this might be your last meal. Enjoy it while you can.
Yeah, and Goodnight can't take it anymore. Goodnight leaves.
Yeah.
He was pretty much like, I swore I'd never raise again in anger again. And he's like, I can't do it. I'm sorry. And he leaves. Billy stays behind, I believe.
Yes. Billy Rocks stays behind, but Goodnight leaves
Yes.
because I might be wrong, but Billy has like some kind of connection to these guys now as well as he does to Goody.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. At this point, whenever they have a couple scenes throughout the movie where they're like sitting in that saloon and they're eating at at a table, like these guys just act like brothers.
Yeah.
And I love how through like the 2 or 3 scenes of these, you see the closer these guys get, and it's just so neat to watch them do that.
And it's actually around like this last night that we see just how far Vasquez and Faraday have come.
Oh, absolutely. Because honestly, they have the biggest growth out of all of them,
Oh yeah.
really.
Like from when they first met to when this last night comes in. Yeah.
Yeah. Not much else happens. And then the day arrives.
Everyone, yeah, so the morning comes, everyone kind of gets into their places, into trenches, and the women and children are hidden underneath
I think
a.
it's like a general store.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
And if we haven't mentioned it, the pretty much their plan is to kind of like box in the Bogue's men
Yeah.
and just pretty much like turn the town into like a shooting gallery.
Yeah.
And so as the first round races into town, they blow up the trenches and everything. They pop out of the trenches, and then whatever men get through are cornered down the main street, and there are people pretty much like on the roofs, and they're just
Balconies, roofs, anything that can give them elevated height.
and they're pretty much just blasting these guys, and Bogue was like, "All right, we're gonna bring in the big guns," and they bring in a Gatling gun.
And just for like a note, before the Gatling comes in, there's like 5-10 minutes of just solid shooting, explosions, and racing around the town.
This entire ending sequence is like 45 minutes of just
Action.
just gunfighting, raw. real action.
And it's all done extremely well.
Yeah, I mean, at one point, so pretty much the Gatling gun is what changed everything
Oh,
for
absolutely.
this. Faraday, Goodnight returns
Yes.
right as the Gatling gun shows up in a heroic turn of events. Um, and so Goodnight and Billy go to the top of the church for a sniping position. Sam is trying to save the kids.
Yes. And
Jack is with Teddy.
yes. And
Red Harvest is pretty much just on the rooftops, just taking out whoever he can.
which we forgot to mention, they also have a
They do have a Native American.
yes.
And that is a terrifying sequence.
Because I can't remember what his name is, but he is a ruthless killer.
Like
He's slitting throats, scalping people. And
Yeah.
he has a gun too, right?
Yes. And so, I forget the exact order in which this happens, but if I remember right, Jack Horner is trying to protect Teddy,
Yes.
and this Native American starts shooting arrows at Jack Horn.
Yes.
Jack Horn takes an arrow through the hand,
The leg, right?
one in the leg, 3 in the chest. He doesn't, and then he just succumbs to his wounds. He just pretty much like just slumps over.
I want to say though, like, even before he succumbs to his wounds, he's still moving.
This is like the saddest scene in the entire movie.
Yeah, because the entire time he's just praying, like, "Oh, Father in heaven, lead these unworthy souls into your kingdom of light."
Yeah, and even as he's charging at this evil Native American, he's talking in prayer.
Yeah.
Like that's almost the only way he talks is in prayer. And so as this happens, the Native American chases Emma, and then Red Harvest and this guy have a battle.
Yes.
And it is cool. Because I don't know if they're of the same tribe or not.
I would say it's best to assume not.
But anyways, like it's just cool to see that because you don't really see that in a lot of movies.
No.
Like Native American versus Native American. Anyways, so that guy's taken care of.
And we're already down a member.
Yes.
Already forgot his name.
Faraday?
Not Faraday.
Oh, Jack Horn?
Yeah, Jack Horn.
Oh.
For some reason, he's the only one I can never fully remember.
The simplest name is the one you can't remember.
Yep. Because you got Sam Chisholm, Faraday, Goodnight Robichaud, Billy Rocks, Vasquez, and then Red Harvest, and then
Jack Horn.
Yeah. I don't know why I can never remember his name. Even as we were watching the movie, I'm like, what's his name again?
I remember that. Even in your notes was like, what was his name again?
Like I'm sure I have it written down.
I'm sure you do.
I hope so.
If not, what kind of reviewer and note taker are you?
Yep, there it is. It is the second to last note I took was his name.
Woohoo! It's in there, ladies and gentlemen. Anyways, Faraday's like, we gotta do something about this Gatling gun. And so he pretty much rides his horse straight at.
No, you're skipping parts.
What did we skip?
Well, you're skipping how at this point anybody that's still left after the Gatling gun came out, they're all starting to congregate at the church, and Faraday and Vasquez are getting there.
That's right.
And this is where we absolutely see the peak of their brotherhood
Yeah, because Faraday gets hit.
3 different times.
Yes.
And every time, Vasquez is screaming for him, covering him, and helping him get inside the building.
Yeah, because pretty much Faraday's is pretty much looking after the kids at
Yeah.
this point. And so pretty much like, we got to play some cards here. We have to make some moves, otherwise we're not going to make out of this. And so Faraday tells Billy and Goodnight, give me some cover. I'm going to go take care of this gun. He rides straight at it. He takes out 4 or 5 guys.
While still getting shot at.
While getting shot at, Billy and Goodnight are taking out guys behind him. And
the Gatling gun comes in.
Yes. The Gatling gun takes out Goodnight and Billy.
And just for an idea of where they're at like where the bell would be inside of a regular chapel.
Yeah. And Goodnight gets blasted off the roof.
Yes.
That's how many times he gets hit. Anyways, Faraday gets shot 7 times, I'm pretty sure.
In total, or as he's getting close to the Gatling gun?
As he's getting close to the Gatling gun.
So, I think so.
Because he just like slumps over his horse, and he's like trying to light a cigar because he's a smoker.
Yes. Smoker, drinker, and a cardsman.
And the eye patch wearing guy who's pretty much controlling the Gatling gun, pretty much like salutes this guy. He's like, that was one display of power right there, man.
And he just like tells everyone, hey, back off, I'm gonna go light his cigar, I'll be right back.
And then he lights it, and Faraday falls over. And then he pops back up and said, I always had luck with Good-Eye Jackson. He throws a stick of dynamite at the gun and blows everybody up, including himself.
Yeah, and that's where Faraday's sleight of hand really comes into play. Because you never realized he had a stick on him.
No, it never says it at all.
And when I first saw him slump down, I'm like, he did all that work for nothing? And then he pops up, and I'm like, what? What is he doing? And then just got a stick of dynamite. I'm like, oh.
The funny thing is, he kind of lays the groundwork for this, because when they take the dynamite, he's like, I've always wanted to blow something up. And he does in his last breath of life.
Yeah.
Anyways.
And so this leaves
Bogue.
Yeah, Bogue, but from the team it leaves
Vasquez,
Sam Chisholm, and Red Harvest.
Red Harvest. Bogue is drawn into town, and Sam pretty much like, you murdered my family when I was a kid, because he was a plantation boy.
Yes. And we also find out that, if I'm not mistaken, Chisholm was put to hang because he has a scar around his neck.
Yeah, he's got rope marks all over his neck.
So,
I don't remember if Sam or Emma delivers the killing shot.
Emma does, but so the whole sequence is Sam is choking out what's his name?
Bogue.
Pretty
much like, pray. I want you to pray. Yeah. I want you to pray with me, man.
And so both of them are unarmed at this moment, but Bogue realizes he has a pocket boot gun.
Yeah.
And he starts pulling it out, and
Emma
kind of just aims it at Chisholm.
And Emma shoots him at the door of the...
Right as soon as he's about to pull the trigger.
Yeah.
So, realistically, none of the 7 got the final kill.
Not at all. Hey, wanna know what I died for?
Nothing.
This chick to get a shot.
Now, thinking about it, she did have some relevance when the whole thing started, because she was
Sure, she lost her husband.
Well, no, like when the whole town started fighting because she was up on one of the balconies, right?
Yes.
And then she also went up on top of the chapel for a little bit, right?
No,
No?
because her and Teddy were in the balcony of one of the shores.
Okay.
Um, but Sam realizes the damage has been done. Uh, Faraday's horse is given to Teddy. And the three men ride off, and the four that lost their lives are given,
A proper burial.
and each one of their uh,
Kind
heads,
of,
head cross headstones, very much like cowboy grave,
yeah.
is given something of their person.
Like Faraday's is his playing cards.
Yes.
Um,
Jack horns is one of the things that are in the field. Kind of like one of those like wind spinners, but they were using those
pinwheels.
Pinwheels. They were using those in the trenches when they were digging them.
I think Midnight's.
Goodnight's is his flask,
Yeah, Good Night, whatever.
and Billy's is one of his knives.
Yeah,
And so,
and this sequence is the only thing that kind of angers me.
because that was the only thing with CGI.
Yes, but at the same time,
I understand why they did, because they're going for a very specific look for this sequence, and
yeah.
it's very hard to capture that.
But at the same time, yeah.
And Emma pretty much leaves out the movie with a little speech saying these men saved the future of the town, and what they did was magnificent. Everything kind of alluding to the title.
Yeah.
And the movie goes to black, and we get the original theme song from the movie.
All right.
That is the Magnificent Seven.
And like we said, this PG-13 came out in 2016. Anything you want to add?
Did we have any questions?
I am looking. I don't have any.
Let me look at my notes.
Yeah, you tend to take more notes than
I was
I
gonna
do.
say I'm much more of an actual note taker than you are.
I'm more of an artist.
I actually don't have any either. Oh wow.
I mean, granted, there's not a whole lot we could question about the movie. It was just very straightforward.
It is a very straightforward thing. Okay, if you would see yourself as any of the characters, which one do you think it would be?
I would want to try and be Faraday.
For the sleight of hand?
Yeah, just because that's such a neat trick to have.
Right.
What about you?
I would probably align myself with either Faraday or Goodnight, because Goodnight is, through what he does in the film, he overcomes trauma
Yeah.
to do what's right.
Right.
And so that's just something to aspire to.
Right.
And Faraday is just because he's fun.
Yeah. All right. So I just came up with the question.
Okay.
If you could bring back any of the four that had died, who would you bring back?
That is a gut punch of a question.
Now I've already thought about this. As much as I like Faraday, I would want to bring back Jack Horner.
Jack Horn?
Whatever.
You want to bring him back, you don't even know his name.
I would want to bring him back. He was just trying to live a secluded life.
Right.
And
I mean, in all actuality, he probably never would have found the peace he was looking for through life. But it is, yeah. I would honestly say Billy
Mm,
because I
and
mean
definitely on the younger side.
he was on the younger
Had a
side.
lot of potential.
He he could have made an entire life without Goodnight because Goodnight helped him grow,
Yeah,
but he never got to live like a life after what Goodnight gave to him.
right.
So it's kind of sad to think about that. I mean, Faraday was probably going to die
No matter what,
because of the way he was living his life.
it was very high risk, high reward.
Yes. Goodnight,
He was very old.
he was very self-destructive.
Yes, very old, very self destructive.
So I don't know, but I would probably bring back Billy Rocks just so because there could be more story to tell, like how he could have moved on.
Right.
Because there would have been some trauma there in itself because he lost his best friend. But I feel like Billy would have been strong enough and would have made a life for himself after the events of Rose Creek.
Right.
Um,
Now, the only way I would say, oh, I'd bring back Faraday is to see like how that interaction would go between him and Vasquez.
right, had like a little Western buddy cop movie between Faraday and Vasquez.
Yeah. um.
Irishman and a Mexican coming to theaters near you.
All right. Anything else?
Would you, if you were offered the position on the Seven, would you take it?
Like, do I innately have the gunslinging
I
capabilities?
mean, like if you were just one of the guys and you were given the proposition, given the information you were given, would you have said yes, or would you have been like, no thanks?
I would probably take it just because, it's kind of a fight for the right thing,
Right.
saving those that need it.
Yeah, I I would probably be hesitant at first if
Oh.
they told me the odds.
Like, absolutely, I'd be hesitant, but at the end of it, I'd probably just be, all right, let's get this going.
Yeah, because like you're given the chance to finally redeem yourself for whatever you've done, and you're given peace.
Right.
Because, I mean, it is kind of interesting to think about how the three moved on afterwards. You know what I mean?
Right.
But, oh well. Are there any other last thoughts about the Magnificent Seven?
Overall, it's a good movie. It's fairly straightforward enough that you can not have to worry about any minor details.
Yeah.
Like, the names might get you confused,
Yeah.
but other than that, it's a good movie. Very well-rounded cast. And it shows enough screen time for all of them that not one character takes away from the others.
Yeah, they're all very much main characters.
Like, you know Sam Chisholm's the main character.
Right.
But once the others start getting introduced, he's not pushed aside, but he's still not the center of attention.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, everybody just give this movie a chance. It is a good on-ramp for westerns. If you don't want like the hard R westerns, or if you're like those old westerns that look pretty cheesy, like this is like the good common middle ground.
Right.
And yeah, it's just a good character story. Just to see men come together with very different backgrounds, very different ideals, just put all their stuff aside just to fight for what's right.
Right.
I don't have anything else to add.
I do have something else to add, but it's not about this movie.
Oh yeah.
It's about our next movie.
Oh, what is it?
So, our next movie we will be covering is the SpongeBob movie from 2004.
Oh.
This is my 8th favorite movie, if I did my math correctly. Right? I think I did my math correctly, because so this would be my 8th favorite movie.
Nice.
And we will get into that next week. Anything else you want to
add? Yeah. That's like the last good SpongeBob product that ever came out, but that's my opinion. Well, I guess that'll be it from us this week. I'm Logan Thomas.
I'm Caden Green.
And this has been The Real Bros. See you guys later.
Bye.